Andres from AA Sports back with more hockey content on the San Jose Sharks. The Sharks this week played the Nashville Predators and lost 3-2 after some bad goalkeeping errors. I did a post-game reaction video for that game, but they also had a game Thursday that I wasn't able to go to, but I did want to talk about, and that's what this video is going to be on. The San Jose Sharks on Thursday night won 4-2 against the Chicago Blackhawks. This was a game many tuned in for because we finally got to see a battle between two first overall picks that are considered part of the NHL's future, Macklin Celebrini and Connor Bedard. This was a game that was very interesting for the Sharks because if you're a Sharks fan, you wanted them to win, and for Celebrini specifically to play well, hoping Celebrini shows he is better than Bedard and that the Sharks have the better future star. But at the same time, given both teams are first pick favorites for the draft, this is also a game you wouldn't mind them losing so they can finish last in the NHL and be given the highest odds of being awarded the first overall pick. But in this game, we saw the former in Celebrini play well with an assist and the Sharks win 4-2. Meanwhile, Bedard did not have a good game and even got a surprising penalty for abuse of the officials, I believe. So Celebrini walked out looking like the better and, I guess, less hot-headed player. Final score, Sharks win 4-2 on Thursday night while rocking their sick black jerseys as well. Gotta love those alternate jerseys. They look really good. With that 4-2 win, here are the Sharks' grades for this game. Offensive front, A. The Young Stars had a great game. In the first period, Will Smith scored the first goal of the game off an assist from Macklin Celebrini, and Colin Graf scored 2 goals in the game. Midway in the second period, Graf scored off an assist from Wenberg, and he later scored again in the second period on a power play. Celebrini's ability to create plays in the game were also noteworthy, as his good skating with the puck, followed by a good pass to Shakir Mukhamadullin, was what sparked that opportunity that resulted in Graf's second goal. Then in the third period, Tyler Toffoli scored the empty net goal to seal the game for a 4-2 win. Nothing to complain about from the offense, and it is really great to see how much Will Smith and Colin Graf have improved with more repetitions on the ice. The young offensive front looks really promising for the future. They're going to be good in the future. There's nothing to complain about from this game. Defenseman, B. In the first 10 seconds of the second period, they conceded the first goal. They got completely run over right at the start of that second period and looked completely unprepared for an immediate attempt to get back in the game, as I anticipated the Blackhawks would do, just because they were down 2-0. You want to get at least one goal in that second period. Sure enough, they got it immediately. The second goal conceded in the game was a decent play that you can't really be mad about. But yeah, that first goal in the first 10 seconds of the second period was not pretty, to say the least. In the first and third periods, I did feel they played better, especially in the third period. They played well and did what was needed to close out the game and prevented the Blackhawks from tying the game. So B grade, I think, is fair here. Enforcers, B+. Barclay Goodrow notably got more of the late shifts in the third period on the second line. He is usually on the third or fourth line, but got moved up to the second line in the final minutes. He was decent in helping defend the lead and helping the Sharks close out that game in the final 10 minutes, but there was obviously still some more to be desired from him outside of that. There was a fight in the second period, once again involving Goodrow. This is back-to-back games where he has gotten in a fight. And it was this moment and moments like this where we see why, despite Goodrow not being the same player he was during the golden generation for the Sharks and during Tampa Bay's back-to-back Stanley Cup years, we see why Ryan Warsofsky is not willing is hesitant to healthy scratch Goodrow from the lineup. So let me explain the context of the fight. So in the second period, Celebrini takes a cross-check to the side of the head from Jason Dickinson. It immediately gets called by the referee. That cross-check caused a bit of a confrontation in the corner, but was broken up quickly. However, Barclay Goodrow, defending the rookie and future star, his teammate, decided that he would not let Dickinson cross-check Celebrini, just sit in the box and take a penalty, and essentially let him walk away somewhat a free man for that. So Goodrow, a couple shifts later on a face-off, drops the gloves with Dickinson. Goodrow, I wouldn't say was on the winning end of that fight, but nevertheless, you give him credit for defending his teammates, which is something coaches love, especially in the case for the Sharks, where after they traded Luke Cunnin and Giovanni Smith, they traded Giovanni Smith earlier in the year on the trade with Mackenzie Blackwood, with no Luke Cunnin, no Giovanni Smith. Goodrow is really the only enforcer type of player the Sharks have in this incredibly young team. So credit to Goodrow there, being the Royal Guard, the Secret Service for our young stars and our future king, Macklin Celebrini. Goalkeeper, B. Georgiev didn't forgive, so it was already a big game for Georgiev, given his standards and expectations, and how many times he has, again, forgived. So, for once, not seeing him forgive was, nice to see. He did almost make the same mistake that he made against the Predators in the third period, again, where he, almost turned the puck over in his own zone. But the defensemen for the Sharks were able to recover the puck. He did concede 2 goals in the game, but also made 24 saves and had a save percentage of 92.3%. So there were some mistakes from Alexander Georgiev, but he still played well enough to win. I can't really be mad at his performance. B grade, I think, is very good for Georgiev here. Head coach, B+. I don't like that he kept Georgiev as the starter and did not give any playing time to Georgi Romanov in this game, especially following Georgiev's poor game versus Nashville and nearly making the same bad turnover that he made in that game against Chicago. I thought this would have been a good game for Georgi Romanov to play in for his development. I also didn't like how he had his team kind of entering the second period complacent. Once again, 2-0, the most dangerous score in hockey, just like it is in football, I guess. And yeah, they immediately within the first few seconds of the second period, they get scored on. Definitely not a good look in terms of coaching and keeping the team's energy going and making sure that your players don't get complacent. But outside of that, I thought he coached the team well in this game, keeping Goodrow on the roster while Goodrow isn't in the best of form has been a decision that aged well, given the Sharks have no enforcers besides Goodrow now. And the top line and second line that Warsofsky has established looks really good. And as those young players get more experience, those top 2 offensive lines under Warsofsky will only get better. So yeah, B+ grade for the head coach. Final score, 4-2 for the Sharks. They win against the Chicago Blackhawks. For an overall team grade, I'll give it B+. It was a good win. It was a win that I was hoping for. If they didn't win this game, I felt like in some ways it could have been a new low, just because then it would have clearly showed how bad the Sharks have been these last couple of years in their rebuild. But this showed some improvement. B+ grade for the team overall. Just a good result. Their next game will be today in a few hours against the Washington Capitals. So now we're going to see a big test, which is why I gave them a B+ grade for this result, because while they did win 4-2, pretty convincing, they closed out the third period very well. It's worth noting that the Blackhawks are another rebuilding team. They're not as anywhere near as good as some of the playoff contending teams like who they're about to play against in the Washington Capitals. So we're really going to find out just how much this team has improved today in their game against the Washington Capitals. If they can go, even if they lose, if they're relatively competitive against them, it shows some improvement, especially compared to last year where they were just not competitive at all. Andres from AA Sports, those are my grades for the Sharks' win against the Chicago Blackhawks. One more good story I want to show you guys. So, obviously, it was a bummer seeing the Predators win against the Sharks on Tuesday night. And I filmed the instant post-game reaction. I wanted to film a second take of it, I guess. Maybe, just to see if I could potentially get a better take from outside the arena. And I instead wanted to do more of a walk around of the arena while doing it. And that one ended up falling through because what ended up happening is midway through filming the video, I saw a bunch of fans around this area. I guess it was like an entrance to the stadium where apparently the players will enter and leave. And so I heard from some of the fans that were waiting that like occasionally the players will take the time while leaving to give autographs to fans who are there. And so I'm like, okay, I might as well just wait there, see what happens. Maybe, I want to get my jersey signed. I already got it signed by Randy Hahn. Let's get it signed by a player, right? Same with my Sharks hat. Sure enough, that was what happened. Let me pull up my hat right now. Here. So, yeah, I'll definitely post, make a community post on it and show you guys the photos. But you can't really see it here. Carl Grundstrom signed it there. Alexander Georgiev, Celebrini, Marc-Edouard Vlasic, Colin Graf, Will Smith, and Patrick Giles, who scored his first career NHL goal in the Tuesday night game against the Predators. They all signed my hat, and they signed the jersey that I have hanging up there. So that's definitely awesome to have that opportunity. And first of all, I even have a photo and a clip of getting the autographs from Macklin Celebrini, so that's special too. I'll definitely post that in the community channel, in the posts section of my channel, so stay tuned for that. Big thank you to the Sharks players for being so great with fans and being willing to take that time after the game, even after a frustrating loss. So just shows you the players are just amazing with the fans. The fans were very polite as well. The relationship goes both ways. The fans are great. The players are great with the fans. Just, gosh, man. Love the San Jose Sharks because of that. That's one of the many reasons I love the San Jose Sharks. But that'll be all for me in this video. Guys, leave a like and subscribe. Thank you for supporting my channel. I'm almost at 100 subscribers. So please hit that subscribe button. Get me to 100 subscribers. Tell your friends, tell your family, all of them who are interested in sports about my sports passion project. I have more content coming up in the future regarding the Mexico national team. So stay tuned for that. With that, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all your support. If it wasn't for your guys' support and viewership, I wouldn't be taking the time to do special things like this. So it really does mean a lot that you guys are leaving likes, leaving comments. Just thank you for your support. And with that, help me get to 100 subscribers. Thank you so much, everybody. That is all for me in this one. Go Sharks, and I'll see you all in the next video.